Yeah, so we're ready. We're excited.
Now at 6, it's the first day of school for San Diego Unified. We hear from district leaders.
Plus, the North County city now enforcing an encampment ban. And we check in with San Diego's new police chief, Scott Wall.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
First day of school nerves a little bit for some folks maybe out there.
I feel like I've got them for them too.
Yeah, get the butterflies going here, and that's okay. We're glad you're with us here, waking up with us on this Monday, 6 a.m. Now, I'm Eric Connerton.
And I'm Chris Crow. And of course, as everybody wants to know exactly how the forecast is going to look outside for their first day of school, so we want to bring in Evan Narani, especially for that. Evan, how are things going to be looking?
The weekend was humid and hot.
Right,
We're going to hold on to the heat.
Okay.
It at least will feel very summer-like out there for the afternoons to come. That threat of thunderstorms and showers exists in a very small sense across the mountains this afternoon. It's much smaller of a threat than what we saw over the course of yesterday afternoon, where things were quite active. In fact, if we pushed these all the way back through yesterday, you could see the kind of activity that we saw over the course of that afternoon stretch. There was a lot going on out there, showers, thunderstorms all over. Now we have that threat existing in a very small fashion across the mountains. Generally, what we're going to be looking at is partly cloudy skies across the coastline, upper 70s, couple low 80s, inland 88 degrees. Coming up, we'll talk about how long that threat will be as low as it is for days to come, and whether or not we'll see any change in those temperatures. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Evan. Well, right now, more than 95,000 students in the San Diego Unified School District getting ready to head to the classroom.
It's a massive school district, second largest in the state. It's the first day of school for them. CBS 8's Virginia Yerita live at Crawford High School. Students getting ready here, going to be heading out probably your way pretty soon here.
Yeah, that's correct. Good morning, guys. In just a couple of hours, these doors will open back to students who were on summer vacation for the past couple of months. So I know that it's always kind of sad that summer vacation ends, but the first day of school is today, and that's exciting for all students. So we're inside Crawford High School. This building is actually fairly new. We've got some installations that are very new, and to talk a little bit more is actually our board president here, Ms. Hazen here. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Talk to me a little bit about Crawford High School, what we could be looking forward to, especially this building.
Absolutely. So we have dozens and dozens of new facilities all over San Diego Unified, just like Crawford High School. So a couple years ago, Crawford High School was not in great shape, and as a district, we invested tens of millions of dollars to give these students a beautiful brand new campus, and we're doing that all over San Diego Unified, and we know it's about great new campuses, but also great things happening inside and outside of the classroom as well.
So talk to me a little bit about the excitement of the first day of school, having students come into the facility, seeing some of the new improvements at their high school, maybe some who have been coming here. It's probably their last year, like seniors, right? This is really exciting for them.
Yes, so we're really excited. Some things that our high school students have to look forward to this year are a new compact we have with CSU San Marcos, guaranteeing admission to students who meet certain criteria this year. So if you meet that criteria, CSU San Marcos has said, we want you, you can come, don't worry about the typical application process, we've got you. And we think that's really exciting, alleviates a lot of stress for a lot of our high school students.
Now let's talk about some of the other schools, right? Especially our younger students, what they could be looking forward to this school year, some of the new programs. What can we look forward to in that?
Well, I'm the mom of a 6-year-old who just went through kindergarten last year, so really excited about our early learning programs. San Diego Unified has really been leading in terms of our TK program. That's transitional kindergarten for all 4-year-olds. It's a free full-day program. This year, we're going to have about 5,000 4-year-olds enrolled in all of our schools. Not only are we providing a full day of school, but after-school programs as well, and really robust learning and social-emotional development.
All right, we've got the school board president here. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We're going to have a lot more looking forward to the next couple of hits here, talking to some other school board members. But of course, a big day for a lot of students as it is the first day of school, guys. I haven't been in a high school, I think, since I graduated. I am the youngest of all cousins and siblings, so it is pretty weird to be back in high school right now.
Well, hey, we noticed that sign behind you that says "Welcome Class of 28." Those freshmen are going to be the class of 2028. Wow,
that's insane.
Yeah,
guys, way to make me feel old right now.
Right.
Welcome class of 2028.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Regina. I appreciate it.
Guys.
Thanks for the conversation there at Crawford.
Yeah. All right, well, we want to see your back-to-school photos. Upload them under the Near Me section of the CBS 8 app. So, yes, kids, allow mom and dad to take the picture, fix your hair, get the smudge off your face, because we want to see them on TV. The CBS 8 app, of course, is where you go to upload them. We'd love to give your kiddos a shout-out.
Those back-to-school outfits. Many people, a lot of thought went into that for some of those kids
drip,
out.
Right?
That's right. We'd like to see that. Meantime, this morning, new findings from the U.S. Department of Education showing that San Diego Unified has failed to properly respond to sexual harassment complaints brought forward by students. Investigators looked at more than 250 claims over a 3-year period, which involved reports of misconduct by both district employees and students. They found the district, more often than not, did not fulfill its Title IX requirement to equitably respond to allegations of sex discrimination. San Diego Unified has agreed to a number of steps aimed at improving their response to complaints, including reviewing prior complaints to see if further action is needed. This morning, the Lakeside Union School District is working on how to approach Assembly Bill 1955. The SAFETY Act does not allow teachers or school staff to notify parents if a child changes their gender identity or pronouns. Supporters say this prevents forced outings and protects the well-being and safety of students. But many say parents have a right to know the decisions their kids are making at school.
It's ultimately about the safety and well-being of our youth.
Nobody wants to see any child hurt in any way, shape, or form. And at the same time, we can't say that we're doing best by our kids if we're excluding parents at the table.
Lakeside Union School Board District Board President Andrew Hayes, you see there, says the new California law contradicts with federal law. That's why he says he and his board are now asking the courts to get answers to avoid being sued.
And today, a former San Ysidro High School basketball star is set to be sentenced for a shooting that happened in Jamul. Mikey Williams is accused of opening fire at a car full of people back in March of last year. Williams, as you see there, pleaded guilty in November to making a criminal threat. A judge ordered him to complete 80 hours of community service and anger management, as well as gun safety courses before his sentencing to avoid jail time. And this morning, one person is hurt after a car careened into an outdoor dining patio on Pacific Beach. You see it right there. This happened at the Woodstocks Pizza on Garnett after 7 p.m. last night. Police say one person was transported to the hospital with minor injuries. According to police, no arrests have been made, and investigators say they do not believe that alcohol was a factor in the crash.
This morning, the city of Escondido is now enforcing its new public camping ban. Back in June, city leaders voted to crack down on homeless encampments, making it illegal to camp on public property when shelter is available, and that includes streets, sidewalks, parks, and any open spaces or waterways. It also prohibits camping if it creates a threat to safety. Also, no one can camp within 500 feet of schools or shelters, even if no spots are available at homeless shelters. This morning, local leaders are responding to Governor Gavin Newsom's threat to pull money if homeless encampments aren't cleared out. Newsom says cities and counties that fail to clear encampments will lose out on state funding next year. This comes after he signed an executive order directing state agencies to move urgently in clearing encampments. National City Mayor Ron Morrison says it's easier said than done.
We're finding out that at least 90% of the people, the homeless that we approach, they won't accept any help.
The mayor tells us National City is working on an encampment ban, and one could be adopted within weeks.
Yeah, it is indeed. You just watched a video from Laguna Mountain Lodge showing the thunderstorms and rain our mountains and deserts got yesterday afternoon. Several areas, including Julian, Mount Laguna, and Descanso, were briefly under flash flood warnings. Julian saw hail as well, too. And Evan, this is something that we sort of spoke about just before we went to the weekend, was that it was hot, it was humid, and this is what can happen.
Yeah, and Saturday and Sunday were both days that we had that potential. Looks like Sunday was a little more fruitful than Saturday. Saturday still led to mainly activity over the mountains, but yesterday that activity bled west and east. So it was pretty much a county-wide potential that we ran into by the afternoon, early evening hours. We still see that today. There's a very small risk of some remaining showers and thunderstorms, but today, after today, humidity drops substantially. We're back to drier skies Tuesday through the upcoming weekend, and that means less of a risk of showers, less of a risk of thunderstorms. We'll essentially be a lot more comfortable out there for the remainder of the week after today, because as humidity drops, you tend to feel a bit more comfortable out there. Temperatures are still going to be warm by all means and very summer-like out there, so I'm not going to say that we get cold or cool. We're right around seasonal. However, that change over the mountains will be notable. Along the coastline, 80 this afternoon, 88 for your inland valleys, 85 for the mountains, and 105 for your deserts. Temperatures over the course of the weekend were above average, but only by a small margin. We got to 78 in downtown San Diego on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. Remember, average, top right corner there, 77 degrees. So we would normally be at 77 on that afternoon high. Came in a degree to 2 degrees above average, and we're going to follow in that pattern going through the majority of this week. Walking out the door right now, temperatures are a little bit warmer than we'd expect. We have seen in some cases some records broken for the warmest overnight low temperature, and that, as you see here, is a notable start to the morning. I mean, 72 degrees overnight in San Diego doesn't really give us a lot of relief in the overnight stretch. A lot of people open up the windows overnight to allow in some of that cooler air. 72 degrees, not all that cool. So we're going to have some cooler overnight lows as humidity drops, but we'll see that over the next 5 days inland. Those temperatures, they move up and down, but the largest change in degrees is maybe 3-4 degrees of change, which doesn't really mean all that noticeable of a difference. What we are going to notice, though, is that drop in humidity. Let's check in on traffic, take you to a couple crashes that just popped up. Want to point out what has been sticking in Del Mar. This hasn't been cleared, and it's been in play for over a half hour. CHP on scene now. Right-hand shoulder blocked with a crash on the 5 southbound at Del Mar Heights Road. Volume is still very light here at the early 6 o'clock hour, so that'll be picking up in the next hour or two. Second thing to mention just popped up, 15 northbound. We've got a crash on the right-hand shoulder. That is right where the 15 meets the 52. Checking in on border wait times. If you're making your way across the San Ysidro Port of Entry, 60-minute wait right now, so an hour in total. Otay Mesa Port of Entry running you just a little bit quicker, about 45 minutes. Eric?
Evan, thank you. Still ahead here, checking in with the chief. New San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall joining us to talk about his goals for the department.